Welcome to a new edition of the program The World in the Pocket. And it's me again, Gabi Henze. And today we are virtually in the Estonian capital, Tallinn, where I will chat with Ülane Vilumets. Hello, Ülane.
Hi, nice to be here.
How are you doing?
Good, good. Very nice morning today.
So you are responsible for the business development of the e-residency program of Estonia. That seems to be a unique state organization. So if you would have one sentence, how would you explain e-residency?
Yeah, e-residency is an Estonian government startup, if we may say so. So I work for a startup under the government structures, and Estonian e-residency basically gives non-residents of the country a digital ID, which gives them the same access to all our digital services and infrastructure that a regular citizen of Estonia or resident of Estonia would have anyway.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Why came Estonia up with this idea?
The initial idea comes from the fact that our digital infrastructure was something that was already built in the 2000s, and like the seed was planted probably even earlier than that in the 90s. So as you probably know, we are a small and very young country. Our second independence only started in 1991, and we had to build up everything from scratch. And because computers started becoming more and more popular at the time, then there was really nobody to copy from in building this. So Estonia has become sort of a forerunner in this whole digitalization thanks to that, because there was nobody to copy from. So we had to figure out our own system, right? So we ended up actually building it quite well, and because it's all very usable and very integrated for our own citizens, somebody just had a really bright idea to, like, what if we could make other people's lives easier with these services as well. So that was basically expanding it, and thus also attracting more innovative business to Estonia, and people who maybe want to live a lifestyle that's more digital than their own countries allow them. Then it's actually brought a lot of people to Estonia. So
yeah. And how long is the program already working?
7 years. I think in December we're gonna have the 8th birthday.
Yeah. So already a grown up.
If you may say so, yes.
Yeah. What are the benefits of being an e-resident?
So I guess the main thing is being able to start and run your business completely paperlessly. And I'm saying that not as a government representative that I am right now, but I actually have been running a business in Estonia since I was 23. First, I started out as just freelancing and doing different projects, but then I also built 2 tourism companies that became in the end quite international and decent size. So I've always been amazed, like when I hear other countries' entrepreneurs talk about, like, how much paperwork or how much headache simple things for a small and medium-sized company are. And I experienced that myself firsthand when I had to hire a few people in Lithuania, which is 2 countries down, and I realized that, like, it's not as easy. Like, I just log on and I and I register my employees and I pay them salaries and I declare the taxes. It's not as easy. So this company management side that has been fully online for many years in Estonia, it's something that now with COVID, I think other countries are just starting to discover and see how they could actually make this available so that people wouldn't have to queue in a government office somewhere with their paperwork. So that's the main benefit, being able to run and start your business completely online.
Yeah. Do you see a tendency from a particular part of business coming to Estonia to be an e-resident, or particular countries or region?
Oh yeah, that's a long topic. We have quite good statistics and quite good. We have a data analyst in our team as well, and so we know quite well where they're coming from. So geographically, we see the e-residents currently being divided into 2 large groups, and they have like different needs as well. So for example, I think about 60% are actually European Union countries,
Oh,
which might be surprising to you.
yeah.
So 60% are European Union countries, and out of them, a large portion actually come from these old established Western European countries, such as Germany. Germany is among the top 3 countries. Then Spain, Italy, France. So these countries actually they don't have a very good digital infrastructure for their entrepreneurs, and these entrepreneurs, they look up to Estonia as a state that's very transparent, where doing everything is really straightforward and simple, and this digitalization has really like become like an attractive
Yeah.
feature of the Estonian ecosystem for those entrepreneurs. So we see a lot of
Mm.
people looking for an easier, less red tape kind of jurisdiction for their business.
Okay. And the
So
other group?
that's one. And the other group are countries that would be outside of the EU, and their main reason is to simplify their expansion, simplify their access to market to serve customers who are within the EU. So, for instance, among the top 3 countries, again, we have Ukraine, and it's been historically like that, not just recently. So Ukrainians, they are right out of the European Union. They are out of also the SEPA payment area.
Yeah.
So for them to be able to be more trustworthy, to be more reliable, to move money quicker with the European customers. As you know, Ukraine is a very strong tech powerhouse.
Yeah.
They have thousands of developers. So they do a lot of outsourcing for European companies as well, and that means that access to market is the main benefit for those that are outside the European Union. And we see a good portion of UK entrepreneurs as well who are trying to avoid the consequences of Brexit.
Yeah. Yeah. So, what is needed from an applicant, and how long is the application process?
So the application process is fully online. But what you have to understand or note is that this is a government issued ID. So it's, like all these digital signing options, such as like different e-signature websites, or DocuSigns, and I don't know what they are all. So it's very different from that, because it is a government issued ID, and it's also we have verified your identity in the process of giving this ID. So it's very similar to giving you an actual residency card or a passport or an ID card for Estonia. So once you fill out the application online, then it actually takes about 3-4 weeks for our police and border guard to look through your application, to evaluate your motivation, like why do you have the need for Estonian e-services, like what are you planning to do, like what does your business do, and then make a decision. So about 3-4 weeks, a decision is being made, background check is being done, so that we can avoid terrorism funding through Estonia, money laundering through Estonia. So a background check is done through all the databases that our national police and border guard would have access to avoid bad players. And then when the card is then approved, then it's being sent to the closest pickup location near you, which normally would be an Estonian embassy. So in Europe, we have very good coverage. And then we also 1 year ago opened 4 quite distant pickup locations, which are not our embassies, to improve access in certain places. So we have one in Brazil, we have one in South Africa, we have 2 in Southeast Asia, in Singapore and Bangkok. So we actually like expanded our embassy network with an external provider. So there are 4 pickup locations also in places where Estonia doesn't have an embassy.
Great.
And then you have to go to the embassy in person to be identified, as I said, really with your photo ID, and give fingerprints as well, because this is a government issued ID. And after that, then all the access is very simple, just by logging in and using your double authentication with the e-residency card.
I would then have the same access as, for example, you opening a business as an Estonian citizen, right?
Exactly. Like, there's only one small extra requirement that that the non-residents have. So our government wants non-resident business founders to have a contact person in Estonia, and this contact person, it's an internal requirement to be able to basically to get in touch with a foreign founder, because it might be harder than with, for example, a local founder, right?
Mm.
So this contact person service means that you get an accounting or a law firm to become your official representative or your contact person within Estonian state. So that means that the Estonian government can actually get a hold of you through them. And
Okay.
this is a requirement that is way milder than a lot of other countries have.
Mm.
Because, for example, let's say to create a business in Ireland as a non-resident, if you don't have a resident on your board, then you need to put down a bond for non-resident founders.
Mm.
In Singapore, you either have a resident director or you have to pay 100, no, 1,500 euros per year to have this as a service from an external service provider. So this contact person service is about 200, 300 euros a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's simply what it is, like just basically being able to contact you if
Yeah,
necessary.
I understand. Does Estonian state have to deny a lot of applications? So is there the tendency of danger of misuse or not?
There's always a danger of misuse of everything, but we do decline a number of applications every year as well. And I think what is interesting and what is maybe not thought about is that when you sign up for a digital ID, then everything, all the transactions, all the ways you act, there's a mark on the blockchain, like there's something that is left behind from what you do. So in that sense, like having the e-residency card is not really a way to engage in illegal activity, because it's even, I would say, it's more transparent and easier to detect and spot than it is if there's no such digital footprint. So I don't think a lot of people come with the intention to take advantage of this ID as a way to do illegal activity just because of that, because it's all digital and there's a mark.
Mm-hmm.
We do decline applications. It's not a high percentage of them overall, but there's always some suspicion that either the business that they want to run is maybe not exactly in our interests, or something else about the person itself is suspicious. Either they have criminal record, they've been involved in some money laundering scandal before. So there's something about the person's background why he's not given e-residency.
Mm-hmm. And being an e-resident can be the next step if the person want to become really a resident of Estonia.
It is one way that people become aware of our country, because we are small and quite unknown in the big scheme of things. So we do see this as like a person becomes an e-resident. They see how Estonian state functions, how it's built up and how it's trustworthy, and then they actually fall in love with the country, or because when they do their business, they might get immersed in this ecosystem, which is a whole other topic, right? Like when you're building a startup, like are you building it somewhere where you don't have the support that you want, or you build it in an ecosystem that has built Bolt and Wise and Pipedrive and Skype and companies like that. So this ecosystem of Estonia makes entrepreneurs and business people very often also fall in love with our country, and in the end end up moving here. I personally know a lady who moved to Estonia after Brexit from Scotland, because that seemed like the second best place to build her cybersecurity business. And so there we see those people coming here and moving here, but I think the majority of e-residents, they still remain where they are, and because it's very convenient for people who have founders in different countries dispersed around the world, like choose Estonia as the third place. Like none of them are from here, but they choose Estonia for their business because it would be more complicated to do it in either one of their countries. So a lot of people don't ever come here. Like some e-residents have never even traveled to Estonia.
Do you know how many e-residents you have?
Yeah, we have now 95,000 e-residents, which is oddly enough, it's if you would make a city out of those people, it would be the second biggest city in Estonia.
Cool. And are they related, or is there like a community of them? A virtual
Good question. I always like to tell this story. One of our very active e-resident spokespeople, they once said that they've never met an e-resident that they couldn't have a beer with, or like that they wouldn't go out and have a beer with. So it is kind of like it is a community, both in a structured or organized way, because they do have their own NGO that's called ERICA. So it's like Estonian e-residents International Chamber Association. So there is an organization that actually brings together active e-residents who are also interested to lobby or to speak out in their own interests with the Estonian state and the publicity as well around it. So yes, it's organized in a way. We, from our team side, we also facilitate community a lot. So everywhere we go, we actually try to organize community meetups. We go to a conference in Spain, and then at the same time, we also do a community meetup in Spain. And it's a bunch of people who are quite inspiring, at least for me personally, having been an entrepreneur myself. It's like people who are so passionate about their business idea and what they are doing, and it's always a bunch of people who you enjoy spending time with. So they also enjoy spending time with each other because of this common lifestyle of being an entrepreneur and not believing in strict borders. If that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Cool. Ülane, I think we stop here. I think we could talk even longer, and I just want to remind our viewers that we definitely will put all the links to your governmental body that in the comments, so that everybody can click on it and get the right information. I think that's important. Yeah, what can I wish? Get more e-residents.
Well, we are growing all the time.
Yeah.
And if somebody found it interesting and they would like to actually reach out to somebody and find out more, then I am very happy always to get in touch over LinkedIn or any other social media platform.
Good.
So
yeah.
Reach out to me.
So it was really a pleasure to talk to you. Have a nice day, and see you soon, maybe in real life.
Yeah. You too. Thank you.
She is here and they are here. I've got the world in my pocket. And I like it. The vibe is up. She is here and they are here. I've got the world in my pocket. I've got the world in my pocket. I've got the world in my pocket.